Hello guys, welcome to the fifth and last day of the DMVC Framework week from Zero to Hero. It had been a pleasure to present this week to you, to show all these really nice functionalities and to see how you can build modern and performant applications with Delphi using this framework in a really rapid way, in a really efficient way, and with cleaner codes and with organized, structured. It has been shown. It has been proven that the framework is really nice to work with, and there are like several projects using that. So I think it's more than proof that that you can start using this framework in your project, or to start a new project and to go the next step, like to go this extra mile that you need to modernize your application. So just to tell about what we did the days before and what we are going to do today. On a day one, we showed how to install the framework itself, the DMVC, and we made a little hello world application with that. On the second day, we built a CRUD, a complete CRUD, backend CRUD, returning a talking JSON and everything, a RESTful API, using the ORM that comes with the framework, the active record that comes with the MVC framework there. On the third day, we made a view, VCL and FMX using RAD. And when I say RAD, it is that approach that you already know, where you don't have to code a lot on your form. You just sort of drag and drop components and you configure their behavior. And we did that with both. And we did that also in this super nice and organized way, making that centralized controller where you could use the same controller on both views. So you remember when you do something in a controller, both views will benefit from there. And we will also see some benefits from that today. On the fourth day, yesterday, we learned how to document our API using the Swagger standard. Swagger is this standard that is widely used in the industry, and it's really nice to have and to know. And we just learned that, and we saw that it was really simple to actually document your API, and we didn't have to spend a lot of time doing that. We just had to fill in a few attributes, and then the middleware was doing all the heavy lifting for us. And today we will talk about deploying with HTTPS. And I know I have an announcement to make. It's sort of a mea culpa here, because I know that on the previous days I was telling that it was being today we would make this deployment with an IIS server. And that's not true. Actually, we will just enable HTTPS SSL in our backend application, our standalone application. But if you guys are really interested on how to deploy this in a IIS server, just drop a comment or send us an email or something like this. And if there's enough interest from you guys, we can make a special video only for that. Okay. Oh yeah, let's talk about the participation certificate. You can have this certificate for free with your name there in the middle by just sending a feedback form that we prepared for you. Okay, you will access a link, and it's just a Google Forms. You will fill out a few questions, give us a rating or something, and the name that you fill in the form will be the name that will be in your certificate. So be sure to write your name correctly or the name that you prefer to get your free certificate. Okay. And later on, if you want to post your certificate in your LinkedIn and tag us, yeah, we will be super happy. We would love to have this kind of feedback from you guys. So this is the link that you have to access, and this will redirect you directly to the Google form, and fill out the form, fill out your name correctly, uh, and get your free certificate. Okay. Before we can continue here, I want to make an announcement to you, and it's about what is the DMVC from zero to hero. You can imagine that this whole week was not making you a real hero on the framework. This is the zero, okay? The DMVC framework has still a lot to offer. There's still a lot to explore inside the framework, and not only the framework, but within Delphi itself. And you can see that these 5 days that we're having here, they are the module 0, and then we still want you to go to the hero level. Now you have the basics of the framework, but we want you to be the master, the hero of this framework. And thinking about that, we are preparing this training where you will be actually able to reach that level. I want to talk a little bit more about that right now. So the training, the Delphi MVC framework 0 to hero, you are already on the 0 module. Today we are closing with the 0 module, but to go to hero, there is still like I think there are 8. Let's just see here. Yeah, there are still 8 modules for you to follow until you can actually be a hero here. And I want to talk about them. So the first module is warm up and leveling. Here we will talk about the foundation of the training. This base that we will be using for the rest of the training, and not only in Delphi, is we will talk about general concepts like the HTTP protocol and verbs, JSON, REST architecture, Git, GitHub, and everything related. You will see in this first module. And then on the second module, we will talk about authentication and authorization. We'll talk about what is authentication, what is authorization, what are the differences about them, between them actually. We'll talk about basic authentication, JWT, session control using Redis. Redis is an in-memory database, a key pair, a key value pair database in memory, and it's really fast. So imagine the advantages, the possibilities of having such a database available to you, and you don't have to access a SQL database like reading from disk to control your sessions. It's really interesting to work with that. And then on the third module about security, Today we will learn a little bit about security already. We will be enabling our application with HTTPS and SSL with a self-signed certificate. But in our training, you will learn how to actually make your valid certificate for the internet for free, and how to configure your application with this certificate. On the module 4, we'll talk about database. Is the database module here? I think is where we will get most advantage of the framework itself. And here we will talk about how to make a CRUD without controller, how to generate models automatically. We'll talk about nested datasets. And by nested datasets, I mean, like, for example, you have an invoice, which is an entity, and the invoice has items in it. And so you can have like the entity invoice and the entity item that belongs to an invoice, and then you will have this nested dataset. We'll talk about transaction control. We'll talk about model triggers, and I'm putting like triggers between quotes there because they are not actually database triggers. They're not that, but the behavior is similar. You can relate to that. So that's why model triggers. They reside in your application, which is even better. We'll talk about RQL commands and more. On the module 5, documentation. We learned about documentation yesterday. We learned about the Swagger, how to configure our controller, our model to show up on Swagger documentation. Really nice, but this is still something that is just on that Swagger standard. It's just with that Swagger look. We will teach you how to improve your documentation and how to customize the visual, how to customize to make to give the look and feel that you want in your documentation part, to make that really custom for your company, for your product. On the module 6, we will talk about deployment. And here, yes, we will talk about the standalone application, like the one we are making until now. We'll talk about how to deploy in a IIS server. We'll talk about how to deploy your application as a Windows service. We'll talk about URL rewriting, how to configure Apache, how to compile for Linux. We'll talk about AWS. If you don't know, AWS is the Amazon Web Services. And so, yes, we will be talking about how to put your application on the cloud. You will have an application ready to go on the cloud. And on the module 7 is the advanced module already, and we will talk about really interesting stuff there. We'll talk about threaded file upload, like you upload a file to your API, and this upload will run in a separate query. It's non-blocking. We'll talk about centralized exceptions. We'll talk about log management, login, right? We'll talk about HTTP compression of the request, so it goes faster. If I'm not mistaken, we're talking about zip compression in the request, and more. And then the last module, it's the hero module, where we will talk about the hate OAS. We'll talk about scalability, queue management, and containerization. Here you can understand by Docker. If you don't know what Docker is like when you talk about DevOps and making your application portable between servers and everything, you're talking Docker. Docker, you can Google that. You will see there's a lot of big companies, big names using Docker, and it's widely used to deliver web applications mainly. but we will teach you how to Dockerize our application. With that said, let's go to our today's lesson. So before we start talking about how to put SSL certificate in our application, I want to say why it's important to have the HTTPS connection. Quick and dirt explanation is that it will guarantee encryption between your server and your client. So that means that when a client requests information to your server will respond to that request, and only the very same client that requested that will be able to open that information. So this will make more difficult, less vulnerable your application is to a man-in-the-middle attack. So the connection is encrypted. Today we'll work with a self-signed certificate, but of course in production applications you want to have a proper SSL certificate signed by an authority. Okay, guys? So after saying that, after explaining why this is important, we can proceed and we will use the same project that we are using the whole week. Okay? So now that you know why it is important to have SSL, let's first create a self-signed certificate so we can enable SSL. Daniele Tetti has already thought about that, and he has a sample in the sample folder. There's a SSL server, and here you will find the sample on how to create a self-signed certificate so we can enable our application. Let's see the README what it says. Those are the steps to follow to create our self-signed certificate. Well, first of all, it says to download the SSL DLLs compatible with the Indy components. Here we already have it, so we're not going to download that. And if you don't have it, yeah, just download it. Is a super fast download, so it will not be like super pain to download it. Now we will have to download also the Apache, right? Because we'll make use of the binaries from Apache. So let's just open the URL here. You see, super simple download page is already here, and then you download the zip version, and you will be good to go. Here we already have it downloaded, so you don't have to watch us just downloading stuff. Here in our case, we saved. Yeah, here is telling to save on C/tools. Well, here we are using D/tools. Let's just extract here. And now you have the folder there, Apache 24, and here you will see that there's the whole installation for Apache, of course. And now you can open this generate certificates.bat. This file is the one which will generate the certificates themselves. So let's see the content of this file. Let's just right click and open that. So you see there's this set Apache path, and now we already have that changed to D tools Apache 24. If you extracted your Apache installation in some other place, please change that accordingly. Okay, in our case, it's already in D tools Apache 24. So the next step is to open the command line and execute the generate certificates.bat. Yeah, just open the CMD here and it's generate certificates.bat. And yeah, there's a few questions here. Let's just enter for everything to assume the default. So now you see that it generated like two .pem files, your private key and the certificate itself. So now you have the certificates already, and now you have to copy the DLLs files and also the certificates themselves to the folder where your executable is. Okay, and here in the case, he's talking about the folder of the sample, but let's copy to our folder, to the folder where our project is hosted. Okay, let's get the two certificates here. Copy. Ctrl C several times, right? Now on our server bin folder where the executable is, let's paste the certificates. Now only the DLLs are missing. You see, we have to copy the lib yay and the SSL yay 32 also to that folder. If you don't have it, the DLLs, you can download it on the link that is on the README. Remember, they have to be on the same folder as the server executable. And now we can go to Delphi again to configure our project. Let's open the project that we have been working on the whole week. And let's configure our SSL connection. Let's activate the API project. Let's open the controller just for us to know that things are there. Where do we start? We have to go to the DPR, right? You go to project and then view source, which is on the top. And here you will change, it's calling this run server function procedure. And it's using the 9000 port, but SSL runs on the 443. Actually, HTTPS runs on the 443. So now it will already run on the 443 when it starts the server. Now let's go inside this run server procedure, and let's create a variable here. It will be an indie IO handle for SSL specifically. So let's make this IO handle SSL, and it's of the type TID server IO handle SSL open SSL. Yeah, this huge name, yes. So yeah, this is pretty much in the standards, right? And of course, we have also to add the unit to the uses clause. Otherwise, it will not compile. Let's put here the indie. And the unit is the ID SSL open SSL. Okay. And now it would already compile, for example. You see, there's only like the hint that we're not using the variable because we are actually not using the variable. So let's use the variable. So right inside this try, let's just instantiate this handler, this IO handler, right? And then there's a few parameters here, which is the server itself, right? So you are creating you're instantiating the SSL handler, passing the server to it. And this handle has also a few properties that you should configure. Like, yeah, let's see. There's the SSL options, and then .cert file, where you pass the certificate file, the certificate we generated. In this case, this one, cacert.pem. Let's put it here. And then the second configuration is the private key, which is the key file property. And now let's get the name of the key file, which is privkey.pem. Let's copy, let's paste it here. Done that, you say that the server.io handler will be the SSL handler that we just created. Okay, and from the server side, that's it. Of course, if you want to validate if the files are there, if the files exist, or something like this, if you want to configure get the files for somewhere else, yeah, you are free to do whatever you want. You just have to pass in a way that the handler will understand where the files are. Okay, but after that, your API will be already running on the 443 port, HTTPS SSL enable. So let's give it a run. We are running on the port 443 as we configured, and with Postman, let's instead of request on the HTTP, let's request on HTTPS, and you see it is working. So that seems to work fine. Other thing here, it's saying that it's giving a warning that the certificate is self-signed, and let's put that in a browser just to show you what would happen. The browser will show like this warning saying that your connection is not really safe because the certificate is not secure. And of course, this is a self-signed certificate. There's no authority guaranteeing the safety of this certificate. Okay, it was not emitted by a recognized authority in the internet, so it's not really safe. It is an SSL certificate. The connection is encrypted, indeed, but it's not like recognized by the browsers and everything. So that's why you can use it in a test environment, in a local environment, something like this. But if you're putting this in production, you want a proper certificate. Okay. But you can see that it just works fine. And for now, since we are just showing how to configure, how to enable SSL in your application, this is good enough. Let's not like waste time requesting a new certificate or something like this. And when you want a certificate, you have free alternatives like Let's Encrypt, where you can generate a proper certificate for free. And of course, we also have to change things in on the view side. Let's activate our VCL clients here. Let's go in the controller here. And here we have to change a few things. First, we have to add an ID SSL IO handler socket open SSL. Another Indy component, and Indy being Indy. Okay. And in our function, the do get REST client, we will configure this REST client to use this handler. You can pass this IO handler as the third parameter here, but you don't have just to pass it. You have also to change the port here because it was configured to access the port 9000. And now it's also not only HTTP, it's HTTPS. So you configure here your host, and now it should be fine. Let's click get all, and there you go. And with that, we already have encrypted connection between client and server. And this is the reason of why we did everything centralized, because now from the FMX view, what do you need to change here? Nothing, because it's using the same controller. So the view doesn't have to change anything. They are sharing the controller, and all the configuration is in the controller. Let's see if it works here. Get all, and everything is there. So you see the benefits of centralizing that, guys. So that was it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this lesson. Enjoyed spending the week with us, learning about this wonderful framework. And let's go for some announcements that we have. Okay, guys. Now a few final thoughts about today's lesson. Today we saw how to generate a self-signed SSL certificate. You saw we had the script that comes together with the framework and the example, and it works pretty fine. It's quite simple even to do. It's just like a few configuration and execute a file. It's execute a bat file, and then you're done with that basically. And we saw how to enable the HTTPS in our application, backend and frontend. Okay, and you also saw that the configurations were minimal. We just had to change a few things, and also special credits here to the centralized controller that we had, because you saw that it saved us a lot of work, because we only changed once and then both views were affected. Both views were using HTTPS by only changing one controller. Okay, and now I want to talk again about the training that we are preparing for you. Okay, so I want to tell you to save the date, because on October the 19th this year, it's the official launching of the training DMVC framework from zero to hero in English. So if you are interested in becoming the hero in the DMVC, you already know the advantages of having this kind of knowledge. Save the date. October the 19th, 2020 is the official launching of the training. You can find the link to buy the complete training in our pin board, okay? And let's talk more about the modules. Let's talk again, actually, about the modules that we have there. We have the leveling module where we talk about the bases, HTTP, protocol, verbs, JSON, RESTful. The module 2 talking about authentication and authorization. Again, special regards to this session management with Redis. It's very interesting. Module 3, security. Let's go deeper in this HTTPS and SSL subject. Module 4, database, the auto creation for models, nested datasets, transaction management, triggers on models, RQL. Module 5, documentation. Let's go deeper. Let's get better in this documenting. Let's add value to your software by documenting your business logic. Module 6, deployment, standalone application, IIS server, Windows service. Let's talk about compiling for Linux. Let's make your application ready for the cloud, AWS, and everything else. Module 7, advanced module. We will talk about threads for file uploads, exception centralization, login, HTTP request compression, and more. Module 8, the hero module, the last but not least, HateOS, scalability, queue management, containerization with Docker. Guys, this training is really complete and will give you all the tools you need to develop modern applications with Delphi and the MVC framework, following the MVC, okay? You will be a complete developer, ready to make wonderful applications, ready to be deployed on the cloud or in a server securely, okay, guys? So let's talk about the investment that you will have to do to follow this complete training with us. The full value of this course, of this training, is $299, okay? And if you see the amount of content and the unique content that we have that is talking specifically about the DMVC framework, and well, you could have a taste of our methodology and the quality of our material this week. And this is like just a free piece of what we have to offer, right? And $299, it's already reasonable value, but there's the pre-order value until the launching date of the training, which is October the 19th. So until October the 19th this year, you have the opportunity to pay $249 for the full training, okay? This is a really nice opportunity. But even better, for you that followed this week, this DMVC week, you can pay only $199 only for participants of this week, of this DMVC week that we are running right now, okay? And the thing is, since this is a promotional price, it's $100 discount from the original price. This value will be valid only until next Tuesday, the 29th of September this year, at 11:59 in Brazil, is GMT -3. So let's go back again. The value of the course is $299. If you pre-order until October the 19th, which is the official launching date for the training, you can pay $249. And if you buy the course using the voucher that will be available in our pinboard, the voucher that will be valid only until September the 29th this year, until 11:59 in GM3-3. Yeah, then you make your calculations to know what time is it or what day is it in your own time zone. You have the opportunity to pay only $199 for the whole training. Okay? And guys, don't miss out the opportunity. Go to our pinboard. Okay? Here's the link for the pinboard. Get the voucher and buy the course, the whole training, by this promotional value of $199. Okay? Also, don't forget to access the link, fill out the form, fill your name, email, and get your free certificate of participation in this whole week. Okay? This is very important for us. Guys, I think this closes our DMVC week. I hope you enjoyed. For me, it was a really good experience to record all this content to you, to actually translate this content to you. And I hope to have the opportunity to see more of you guys also following the full training to become the hero. Okay, guys, thank you very much and see you around.